Hey guys, so I'm back with another layout, and as you'll see, as the month progresses with my layouts, this video quality will get better. It's actually much better right now. My husband set up my new camera stand, but the lighting is still a little bit off, so we'll work through that. In this video, I am scrapbooking from my stash busting kit, and I don't know still if I'm going to put up that video introducing that kit or not because it's kind of awful. So it may go up before this video, and if so, then you've seen it, and it may not. And if that's the case, we'll just run through this. I'm using a lot of glitz paper, and I'm using some I'm going through some of my stash, not my stash, but my scraps now to see, and I'm using all of those little embellishments I'm pulling out I actually took from my kit, and there's some punchinella that I might use. And I'm just trying to, again, this kit suffers from the same thing as the other kit. There's just not a lot of contrast. So because this is stash busting, I just went ahead and used whatever I wanted, in addition to the papers that I pulled out specifically for this layout. So all I'm doing here is just figuring out some layering to put behind my photo. I'm scrapbooking a very, very old photo. It's from December of 2006. So these kids are much, much older now, but but I'm so far behind on scrapping. I don't think you ever get caught up, to be honest. So there they are, cuties, cuties, cuties. She's actually drinking his bottle, which is the whole point of the photo. And I didn't journal on this layout at all, but I didn't remember the story behind the photo. And as it turns out, now I remember. She is drinking his bottle, and that is why I took the photo. She's 2 years older than him, and almost to the day. She was born, let's see, 7 days. His birthday is 7 days before hers. So I'm just going through again here, looking through the kit to see how I want to. This is a funny story. Just to see how I want to lay this out. So I decided, okay, I'm going to use this rosette. I've had them in my stash forever, but I'm going to use them. So I'm going to actually adhere it to the layout. And then I'm going to realize that that text part, I knew I was going to change the button, so that was no big deal because the yellow didn't fit with my layout. So that was fine. I'm going to change the button, no big deal. But then I realized that text portion actually says happy birthday, and that doesn't work. So I'm actually going to pull that off too, and then we'll see later, hopefully, how I deal with that. I'm going to use this punchinella. I love punchinella I almost, you know what, I love it better than sequins because sequins are a pain. This is not. And it gives a lot of texture to your layout. And it's shiny, and I love it. So, and I have a lot of it. So I'm going to try to use a lot of it up, hopefully in the near future. I have a lot of stash cleaning out that I need to do. I need to destash a lot because there's just so much stuff. But I'm enjoying learning again what's in my scrap room. So and it's nice to stand up and scrap because I just walk around the room and pick up whatever I want instead of feeling like I'm stuck in a chair. And I mean that was just laziness that I felt stuck in the chair. But if I was sitting down to scrap, I just really tried to use the stuff that was in front of me instead of going out into the other parts of my scrap room to find things. But standing up now, it works really well because I just go over and pick it up. So that's how it goes. So I have these containers of different like die cuts, and they're all sorted by color. And so I'm just going through them now because I know I'm going to need a circular embellishment of some kind to put on that rosette. And it's going to turn out that these little circles that I pulled out, that is mulberry paper. I think that's what it's called. Mulberry? I think it's mulberry paper. It's like handmade paper that I bought at Hobby Lobby 10 years ago. But it's going to turn out that I don't like any of those circles. So I'm going to look for some flowers. And here my punchinella's not staying down, so that's annoying. So I thought I would put a flower on top of that rosette. And I decided I don't really like that either. It may end up that that's what I do, but right now, that's not working. So I did bring out those flowers, and I thought, you know what? These flowers actually look good around the rosette. So I'm going to use the flowers. And I'm still thinking that I'm going to use a flower. There's my jar of blue buttons. Like I said, I keep all of my buttons in mason jars, and that just makes it easier. And then I just dump them out and put them back whenever I want to search. But this turned out to be really easy, that there was a button I could use right on top. One of the things that I'm struggling with this month with this color layout is this is true baby blue. So it's not aqua, and it's not... This is true baby blue, and I have a lot of aqua and turquoise in my stash, but not a lot of baby blue. So it's a challenge, and even that flower I used at the top there is kind of baby blue. And I thought I would use that button, but now I'm rethinking that. Here are some freckled, they're really old, some freckled fawn epoxy words, and it says my favorite or a favorite moment or something like that. So I'm going to throw that down on there, and it's got the pink in it. It kind of pulls that hot pink from those side pieces of paper that I used. And because that one flower has that circular silver, it's got a silver circle around it, I thought that I might use some brads that also had those, was also outlined in that silver. It had like that silver edging to it. So I'm actually using brads, and I actually used the brad as a brad. I didn't put a glue dot on the back of it or anything. I actually punched through the paper. So that was quite interesting. You're going to see me run off. I'm going to go look for some more, I think. Or no, I'm going to use these. These are KI Memories, and I got those at Tuesday morning when I bought them initially. So we know that they're old. I don't know how old, but they're old. And let me tell you, it feels great to use up your stash. I mean, it's awesome. So I'm using that Tim Holt, I think, or it's Tonic Studios punchy thing. And then I'm going to realize that I have a much better punchy thing. I think it's in this layout that I realize I'm like, you have a brad setter. How about we use the brad setter? It may not be in this layout. I've actually scrapbooked 8 layouts in 2 days, which is more than I've done in the last year. So lots of videos to come up in July, as long as I can get them narrated, because I am traveling a lot this month for work. The travel for work does not slow down. So I'm cleaning up a little bit here. I don't know why I show you guys the cleanup. I decided that I'm going to use that frame. That frame I did pull for my stash busting kit. And I don't know what I was trying to figure out there. Oh, I covered the date on the photo, so I had to write the date down so that I knew where to put it. And here I'm using a little sticker, and it says, you know what, I don't even remember what it says. It says, I love you a lot, more than a lot, a lot, a lot. And the close-ups on the blog will have that much more. You can see it much better on the blog if I ever get the blog post written. And, I'm crazy with dimensional adhesive, so I put it all over the back because I don't want my stickers to sink. And so now I thought that I might use that little corner embellishment, and then I decided, no, I don't like it. If I had 2 of them, I probably would have used it. Here's a little fabric tag. I thought there's a little bracket I thought I might use, just playing with a lot of the stuffs that I pulled out of my stash, and none of that worked. I thought I definitely wanted to use this ampersand, but it didn't work, and now I'm looking for letter stickers that would work, and all I wanted to say, these are my M&Ms. Both my niece and my nephew have names that start with M, so I call them my M&Ms. And all I wanted to name this layout was M&M, but now I'm going to have to go back and journal on it to know that she's drinking his bottle, because that memory just popped into my head while I was sitting here talking to you guys. So I'm going to use this very old thicker, so you're going to hear this unfortunate statement all the time. Old, old, old. I'm using very old stash. So I'm going to put this M&M on there with this fancy, foam thicker set. And now I'm looking for just a little label that will say the date, because I want to cover up the rest of the date. I used to print all my photos with the dates on them, and now I kind of hate that. So I wanted to cover it up. I'm going to write the date on it, but I wanted it to be in a sort of on an embellishment instead of, look at those, they're Bella Boulevard. They are Chow stickers, I think they were called. Ancient, I'm telling you, ancient. There, I didn't use old, I used ancient. Very ancient. But then the sticker, the chipboard piece that I wanted to use, I lost. Well, there we go, I found it. So I'm going to use that little one that says adorable, and then I'm going to use this. I actually pulled the adhesive off the back of that. The adhesive wasn't going to hold. It was so old, and I was afraid that if I just put adhesive over that it would just fall off. So I actually took the little adhesive strip off of the back of that chipboard piece that has the frame on it. And the other thing, now I'm looking, I have that silver from those brads, but I have these two holes on either side of adorable. And so I'm overlooking at, I'm going to bring them over in a minute to go through them on camera, but I'm looking for little silver things that will fit in those little circles on either side of adorable, and I'm going to use a stamp, one of my date stamps, to put the stamp on there. There we go. To say I have some enamel dots would be saying something. I don't know, like, what I was thinking when I bought all this stuff. Like, I look back now and I'm just overwhelmed by, like, not overwhelmed by the amount of stuff I have in my stash, but by just the sheer, what was I thinking when I bought all this stuff? Like, I have enough scrapbook supplies probably to scrapbook well into, like, 2030. I don't know what I'm doing now. But when I'm off running around like this, it gives me a chance to talk to y'all. But, like, I don't know what I was thinking back then. And now I'm very conscious of, I was looking for my roller date stamp that actually had 2006 on it. Thank you, October Afternoon, for making those. So I put the date on there, and then you're going to see I'm going to use these enamel dots. They're kind of metallic enamel dots. They're not they're metallic dots. And then that's going to be it for the scrapbook page. I'm going to show you some up close, and then here is the final layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be back soon with another video. I hope you guys are well, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.